Hey guys, welcome back to Trekyards. He is Commander Cocking.
He is Sub-Commander Foley.
Oh, you, you just demoted me.
Timelines, man. Stuff happens.
Wow. So you're my captain, essentially, my commander. Okay, well, that's fine.
Or equal rank in different empires. But we're just villain enemies right now, right? Unless you want to undo my timeline. I mean, look. Sometimes the Romulans are a bit devious.
Sometimes. Yeah.
What are we doing today, Stuart?
Today we're going to talk about the Romulan time ship, otherwise known as the Bird of Prey.
Yes. What happened, Stuart?
From season 2, episode 3, tomorrow, of Strange New Worlds. We see on an iPad, basically a picture that was snapped by a scientist who was in the right place at the right time and got a picture of a Romulan bird of prey in Earth's atmosphere, essentially. And we're going to talk about it today because it's an interesting design, and have we seen it before? Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to talk about it.
And it was part of it's a good episode by itself anyway. And it's sort of what escalates throughout the episode. And so putting this in the midway point, it comes across as both a red herring within a red herring of, like the UFO sighting, right? That's how it's played. But I don't think as the storyline progresses, you're not meant to think they're behind the situation. But then obviously the end reveals they are, and it deepens this whole like, oh, okay. Like that's why I would say time ship, because of course the ship had to then be in the past. Was it her ship? Did she use Photoshop 3147 to AI remove herself from the picture?
Well,
right. I mean, that could be her ship. Right? Like these questions now brought in. Like, what was your interpretation? Now we've got the picture, we know the story. What do you think?
My thought was that it was possibly her ship, but I don't know why. Like, this came up in my first reaction discussion. We know that she's been there for 30 years. And the one person was like, how would she know about Kirk? Well, obviously she's from the future of Kirk even. Because he's, and she doesn't know this Captain Kirk because it's an alternate timeline. She knows our Lieutenant Kirk now, who eventually becomes Captain Kirk and has famous adventures. And she was like proud of herself for killing Kirk, right? So when in the Star Trek timeline is she from? Like, is she from TNG era? Is she from, the movie era? Is she from late TOS? She's at a point where Kirk's done at least some amazing things, and he's well known in the Empire. So,
she does say there have been temporal wars fought over this. So I think it's heavily implied she's sort of 27th, 8th, 9th, 30th century.
Yeah, it could be. But
then if she's also not being saved by anybody, because why would you leave an agent in the past? Whereas the time cops, they send two different people to save. So she's so middle value that she can't be rescued. Although then future people could rescue her, but that's a separate point. Yeah,
I mean it's left very open as to what it could be. I mean, they do talk about a computer simulation that you punch things in and you find out what the outcome would be. So it's like they have a plan. They could have accidentally slingshot into the past, which I severely doubt. But I think she's probably a temporal agent and is there for a specific purpose. So, and I think showing them this ship was to see their reaction, to gauge their reaction, to see if Kirk said, I recognize that ship, it's a Romulan ship. He waited until she was gone to say that to La'an. But I think she also wanted help getting into this facility. So she's just feeding them little pieces of information. Yeah. But to show them a ship of, like, that's kind of ballsy. But yeah, I mean, and I love the shot too. It's just it's like a UFO shot, like one you'd see. So,
very apt. And obviously, she does have tricorders, so she would know instantly they are not from this time, but she wouldn't necessarily know timeline, nor would she know when they're from necessarily. I guess she could scan his age and work out a rough whatever. But obviously he knows what this is because they're fighting them. La'an has no idea, which I love because she doesn't know, because that universe didn't happen the other alternate timeline story where we saw this. They keep doing that, which is great. But that is one of the nice things about the episode. We get the Trekyards, look at our episode on it, so we know there's that element of real canon, but her involvement is really vague. She could be part of the Temporal Cold War, as simple as that, and the Time Cops have to fix it, which then creates another issue of then the Time Cops are fixing 20 or 31st century problems. Those Time Cops fixing future and past time problems. What a mission statement. My goodness. But that's either here or there. Now, what I love about this shot, especially if you cut to the next shot, clearly this is a wonderful homage to the other Tomorrow's Yesterday, the other time travel plotline. Clearly this is almost the same shot. Did you think that? What do you think now you're seeing them?
I didn't think that until I saw this. I almost wish there would have been like a canopy of a jet, and it would have been like, yeah, this was taken by a Air Force reconnaissance plane that, whatever, as more of an homage to it. But yeah, I feel like the parallels here for sure. Wow.
That made me so happy because it's the one shot and it's so inspired. It's such an iconic part of this episode of the original series. Seeing it in the atmosphere, it was radical, it was bold. It was like, what? So I love that. And yeah, certainly a jet would have been, I think, too far, but you could have had like a Jeep canopy on the ground to be a different thing. I think that would have been a nice, like, same but different.
Yeah.
Or like I say, or as a selfie and she's in it. Look, Mum, I found a spaceship.
That's my ship. Hashtag my ship.
Yeah. I'm going to time tweet it. Back to the future.
Hashtag I made it.
But it clearly is a Romulan ship, and I think clearly it is the Picard variant, which was then taken by Stranger Worlds. Now you say that, I say that, but as you point out in the episode, something about it is different, is interesting. The next shot is a comparison, of course, top left being the new shot, top right being the TOS one, of course, the bottom right, bottom left being a clear view of the bottom. Both Stranger Worlds, both the end of the season. Talk about what you saw here, Stuart.
Or what I didn't see.
There you go.
There's no bird on the bottom of this one. I mean, if you look really closely, it looks like there might be like a tail design, like light green, that it's kind of like faded, but it's really stretching compared to how the bird actually looked on the one from season 1. So it is the same design. You can tell by the struts. I mean, they have like the impulse engines built into the rear of the struts, and we didn't see any other views of it. I was hoping we would. I would hope we would see this ship in another form during the course of this episode. We didn't. So the one of the best ways to be sure would be to see the front of those nacelles. However, this is what we got. You can tell it's the same ship. They just took the bird off. So now, did they take the bird off to be covert? Because it would be kind of weird to see an alien ship, like a UFO, with an actual bird on it. Would just seem kind of strange. That's really bad camouflage, guys. I know you painted a bird on there, but I don't think that's a bird.
What Russian bird is that? What?
Yeah, exactly.
A spy plane from Russia with the giant red bird on it. Yes, classic Russian. I mean, I'll give them credit. They did tweak it because the bird is a very dynamic part of it, and that is their version of camouflage. How quaint.
But not really. It's for intimidation purposes, but yeah.
But I mean, the lack of it, is how quaint.
Yeah.
But actually, weirdly enough, it does make it feel way more TOS, taking out that giant red, because it makes it feel way more monotone. And I'll be honest, even the same design, if they'd made it white as a nod to TOS, that would have been a creme de la creme move of just confusion. Like, what? But, like, you know what I mean? Like, really nice, like, okay. Small thing. Irrelevant in the grand scheme. Just, they already removed the bird. It would have been kind of fun, But yeah, same design. Is it time ship? Yes. If it exists back then, I guess she could have taken a picture of a real ship in her era, or gone to the middle period and taken a picture and put it on her iPad in 1,500 megapixels because of course it's future camera, or is this an example of Romulan time travel? Of course, she does say, and this is a confusing point in the episode, that the Romulans, her group especially, have gone back and caused many problems of Earth, like Chernobyl, like big events that keep us back to try and stop the Federation. It's delayed the Federation, some elements of it, but it hasn't really stopped it.
Yeah.
However, in an earlier spiel, she says all of the false things. So, on purpose. So, it's a grain of salt kind of speech, which you can take literally, but then you have to take everything she says literally. So, it's a nice whatever. But in that case, it means that Romulans have actively messed with Earth constantly, and those things have succeeded, which means, Romulans really, boy, they have, they love Earth, and they definitely, have a lot of time-traveling ships, my goodness.
Well, she does make a point of saying they want to get rid of their biggest adversary, which is the Federation. Tunguska, like she mentions a whole bunch of stuff, even JFK. So that's like very intricate. And she does mention just temporal wars in general. It could be that they got entangled into them and other people are messing with Earth as well.
Yeah.
We're not really clear on
exactly.
that. But, just delaying Earth's getting into space. I mean, there's so many better ways to do that. Travel back in time and prevent the asteroid from striking the Earth that killed the dinosaurs. All you have to do. And dinosaurs live for millions more years. We never evolve. Problem solved.
Yeah, but we always seem to stop them at our first contact. Doing something big. So I guess they thought, we'll do small stuff so that they don't mess up. Because once you've got time immunity, time cops, you'll notice the big things. There's a great scene in Loki where they talk about, mild spoilers ahead, how does this agent not get caught because they're changing time stuff, but they say, well, if you exist in a point where everyone gets killed, that ends all time readings because death. So if you hide in those dead spots, you exist as part of an end loop. So you hide. It's a really, really clever idea. So if you change tiny things, the ripples might not be felt and allow the change. And I'm sure there's time travel, right? Different ways of looking at it, but it's interesting. But Picard era vintage ship, we're back in time, maybe. Boy, what if this is like a future Picard legacy plot? What if they tie that in and this is the same bird of prey from Picard that they have to go back in time to steal, to then take back in time to do a plot line? Boy, what if that's paid off in like 6 seasons?
Well, that'd be kind of cool, but I doubt they'll do that.
7.
It's funny because I'm currently listening to an audiobook of Stephen King's called 11/22/63. It was about the assassination of JFK and a time traveler that goes to stop it. And he tries to change many things during the course of his trip. And time always finds a way to mess with him to allow time to flow the way it's supposed to flow, by getting in his way or, whatever. And I love that she mentioned that time has a way of correcting things and making sure that certain things happen. It's kind of like Doctor Who with those fixed points in time that have to happen, right? So I love that the time stream just automatically kind of corrects itself. And that's what they're fighting against as well. So I just love that mention because of the current book I'm reading. But
and you can hear the pissed offness in her performance. Like, we keep trying. This is our 57th mission. Goddamn time.
Like, she's been there for 30 years. I feel so bad for her.
Yeah. Although, boy, Temporal agents, maybe take her out before 30 years of messing with the timeline. Although the fact that she uses a gun, not a phaser, implies that she lost all her kit.
Well, it could be that she's stranded there too. Like, there's no way for them to actually save her for whatever reason.
But I mean, the time cops to pick her up, to arrest her, right?
Oh yeah.
And also, it's really subtle, but we'll look at it later. I'm sure you noticed at the end when she gets shot, the green blood splatter.
Yep, the mist of green blood was great.
Which is beautiful. But for like 10 frames, when she's falling dead, her ridges come back. Well, I was doing frame by frame, and they're like, and they're fun hybrid ridges. They're not like clear, like they're not like full Romulan, because she's obviously a future person. But they CGI'd her ridges for like 10 frames of falling. How cool is that? Like her body de-metamorphoses back to basic, and then it's like, what a lovely detail. Like, those are really time-intensive, annoying things to add.
Yeah.
Cool.
I didn't notice that, so thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah. Good for them.
I loved her little like cyanide pill essentially in her neck, like just gone.
Graphic as all hell. You wonder why Khan went insane because he saw someone disintegrate themselves.
and then think about this. Khan probably got like blamed for killing all those guys in the hallway. She left the gun. His door was open. Maybe they like punished him, and that started the whole. Got to be better than these people.
Although now La'an's fingerprints and also Time Person's fingerprints now exist on the database. Because of course his fingerprints aren't on the gun unless he picked it up, and I don't think he would. But theirs are. Ooh.
I think I signed Unsolved Mysteries by Robert Stack about that.
Yeah.
A gun found with 2 sets of fingerprints.
In a young
people
Indian,
that don't exist.
In a young Indian genetically modified kid's secret lab base in Toronto.
Yeah.
I'm glad you watched it before it got removed from TV because the Canadian government really shut that one down quickly. It's like the Star Wars Holiday Special. They tried to get it off the airways, but they leaked a copy and it won't ever quite die.
I just want to point out another thing. For the record, Khan is not Canadian. Just because he's in Canada does not mean he was born here, nor is he Canadian. He's just being held there temporarily because it's one of their many, safe houses. It's fine.
Yeah, people go for care in specialist countries where the money and tech is the research labs. It's all good.
But anyway, I think we're done talking about this Romulan ship. I wish we would have seen more of it in the episode, but who knows? As we said with the Trekyards episode that we did, maybe now that La'an is aware of the Temporal agents and they can
trust her,
they can trust her, they might come and use her again. It's very much like Section 31.
Season 3, Season 4.
Using Reed and coming back, and then finally recruiting her. I could see La'an getting recruited for Temporal. I could absolutely see that.
I mean, maybe that's why she's not in later seasons of Star Trek, because she becomes a time cop.
TOS. Yep. No, I totally buy that. They
great.
Fake her death like they did with Trips.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh my god.
That's a whole other conversation.
Can you imagine if they get Trip Tucker, the actor, back for that scene, just like, oh, we faked your death. Here's Trip Tucker. We faked his death too. Just decanonize
No, have him come into Strange New Worlds and recruit her.
Yes. Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
We'll decanonize the ending of Enterprise 15 years later.
Nobody likes it anyway.
Right, Connor. That'd be. Oh god, Connor would be very surprised to get that call. That'd be great. Oh.
Let us know what you think about this ship and everything we talked about down in the comment section below. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to click the notification bell icon to all, and join us for all of our lives and all of our edited content as well. You can help us out in many, many ways.
Such as supporting us via Patreon or join the channel on YouTube. Both are monthly, and we do need monthly support as a backbone that we know we can keep doing this at an okay level, or one-time donations via Super Chat on the YouTube lives, which we love to do. We pride ourselves on having a good live show with a great audience. Any support makes a big difference there. Or you can support us on PayPal. That is also one-time donation, trekyards@hotmail.com. Or it's with thanks. It is a Super Chat, but not live. Although, in fairness, you could watch us live on one screen and then super thanks on a different video. In fairness, it's ridiculous, but you could.
And that's how you can time travel. Go watch our old episodes.
Yes.
Super thanks on them and give us money from the past. It's cool.
No, money to the past.
To the past. To the past us. But then it gets time traveled to the future us.
Yes.
Because anyway, go watch our old content.
YouTube is a very smart program, okay? Their time mechanics is just wonderful. Yeah.
Anyway, on that note, thank you so much for watching, guys. Have yourselves a great day, night, weekend, whatever.
Past, future.
Exactly. And come back and see us sometime in the future. I was going to say that, ruined it, but I was just saying the future then. But that's okay. He is Commander Cockings.
I knew you were going to say it, Stuart, so I wanted to be the bold
I'm
hero.
Sure.
And he's Captain Foley.
Thank you. There you go. Thanks. See, now I'm Captain again.
What? What do you mean you weren't Captain before?
You made me Commander.
What? I didn't.
Okay, well, anyway, bye.